because I don't want to be whiny. I withdraw because sometimes it's just so overwhelming. I don't want to talk about it. But when you reach out, when my girlfriends reach out, it reminds me that, you know what, I'm not forgotten. No matter how bad things are, no, no matter how up to my eyeballs I am in the slog at the moment, there's people out there who care, and they take the time to check. And when you check in, don't 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 put any pressure on it. Just, hey, no pressure, just wanted to check in. I want to see how you're feeling, let you know I was thinking about you. You'd be amazed at how far that will go with somebody. Number 2 way to support someone. This really shouldn't need to be said, but it does. You need to listen. You need to not judge. You don't understand. You can't understand. So we need you to listen with an open heart. I just was talking about this with someone the other day. The most dismissive thing that people have said to me, and more than one person has said this, I got to tell you, there's not a lot of things that just really piss me off, but this is one of them. Well, everybody hurts sometimes. Well, no shit, Morty. Guess what? We're aware of that. There is a very, very vast difference between your occasional aches and pains and our literally 24/7 existence of pain. Until you have spent months, if not years, of your life sitting in doctor's offices going through god awful test after god awful test, chasing a diagnosis, being told, God, some of the crap I've been told by the medical community over the years is just freaking heartless. So unless you've been there, don't put it out there that, well, everybody hurts sometimes. No shit. We know that. We're not stupid. It's not the same thing. And when you say that, I try really hard to always give people the benefit of the doubt. And even with that one, my assumption is that you're trying to build a bridge of understanding, but you don't. All you make me want to do is burn the damn bridge down and put up some fortifications where you ain't getting anywhere close to me ever again. Don't offer unsolicited advice. Now, I will tell you, this is where I'm very different than a lot of my friends who have chronic illnesses, because most of them are like, don't even. I take a different approach to it. Honestly, if I've seen the same article 1,000 times, I'd rather you send it to me than not, because maybe I haven't seen it. Maybe maybe you've got a supplement that you think is going to really change my life. I don't mind you telling me. If I feel that your intent is sincere, I don't mind you telling me. I may not ever do anything with the information, but I do truly appreciate the thought. But again, that makes me very different than most people with chronic illnesses, at least the ones I've talked to. But also, don't say, well, you'd feel so much better if you lost weight. You'd feel so much better if you exercise more. You'd feel so much better if you fill in the blank here. Don't do that. You know why you don't need to do that? Because I promise you, we've had those conversations with our medical team. And yes, there's usually a team involved when you're up to your damn ears in health issues. Excuse me. Another thing that you need to know when it comes to listening, one of my really good friends got so irritated with me a few years ago. And she's like, when I ask you how you're feeling, don't give me the same BS answer you give everybody. I want to know, or I wouldn't ask. And she wouldn't. I know her well enough. She didn't want to know, would never bother. She wouldn't waste her time. She's just not that kind of person. But when I explained to her, it's hard to talk about. It's hard for me to talk about even with other people who are in a similar situation and who can understand what I'm going through. So if it's hard for me to talk to them, it's really hard to talk to healthy people about it. Don't take it personally, because it's not. For me, I don't want to talk about it, because if I focus on it enough to put it into words, it's way too front in my thinking. That didn't make sense. It's way too forward in my head. I don't want to be thinking about it. I try really hard to just set it aside and get on with my day. So don't take it personally. It's not personal. Number 3, if you are dealing with someone who has health issues, you have got to learn how to roll with the punches. We know that it's annoying when we cancel again. But you know what? I mean, really think about that. Who in the hell wants to sit home by themselves feeling like crap instead of going out with their friends? I don't. Huh? I'm very much of a homebody. I love to be at home. But I don't ever want to sit here because all my friends are going out and I feel too crappy to go. So if that happens, don't make it about you. None of this is about you. I know that's really shocking to a lot of people, and I'm sorry to break the news to you. It's not about you. If you really want to spend time with that person, if they mean that much to you, instead of getting pissed off, why don't you have a little bit of empathy and say, gosh, I'm sorry that you're not feeling good. I'll tell you what, how about I pick up your favorite dinner and I'll come over and we'll just hang out and watch TV. And then come over and be a low maintenance guest. Honestly, that is it's such a small thing to you, but to us, it's huge. That's a tremendous gift that you could give somebody. It's certainly better than saying, oh my God, you're such a flake. Are you canceling again? Which I went through a phase, and some of you know this because you followed me before, but I went through a phase where I would not make plans with anybody for several years. No, I'm sorry, I'm not making plans. If you want to call me Friday evening and ask me if I want to go out, sure, we can make plans that way. But if you're going to ask me if I want to go out next Friday, I'm not making those plans. I have 2 women that I'm very close to. In fact, that's why I was a little late tonight. I was on the phone with one of them. We're going out tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Good God, that's only Tuesday. We're going out Saturday. But I thanked her, and I need to call my other girlfriend. My 2 really good friends, Amy and Ellen, they don't let me sit home and isolate myself because they both know me and they both respect the fact that I am a homebody. I am actually, and people always laugh at me when I say this, but I'm very introverted. I love to be with other people, but I need to be alone to recharge. I need to be alone to kind of process the day. But Ellen and Amy, once a month, like, sorry, you can suck it up one day a month. And they're right, I can. And I love them for doing it because this winter's been freaking hard on me. Anyway, I'm getting way off track. Number 4 way that you could support someone with a chronic illness or health condition. This is another one that I really can't believe needs to be said. But it really does. Educate yourself. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and do a dissertation. It's not at all what I'm saying. Do it. Pull it up on Google. Take literally 60 seconds out of your damn day. If you care about that person, why wouldn't you want to understand what they're going through? You would be amazed. Or maybe you wouldn't. Very few people bother to do that. And that's kind of a weird thing. I mean, here's this thing, I try not to let my health issues run my life, but there's certainly a very significant aspect of my life that I can't ignore. And I honestly, I'm just baffled at a lot of people that I used to be super close to, they just weren't interested. They didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to know about it. I don't know. I mean, I guess probably if I'm being generous, they didn't know how to fix it, so they didn't want to hear about it. But still, it's really weird. But you don't need to be an expert. That's not what I'm saying. But know the basics. For goodness sakes, how could I just don't understand that? And you know what? If all else fails, ask. Ask them. Ask them how they're not how they're feeling, but what does this mean to you? What has this done to you? What can I do to support you? Or okay, I kind of read up on this and I have questions. Just ask. Most of us are happy to answer questions as long as you're asking out of a sincere curiosity and a sincere willingness to learn. And you're not just blowing smoke up our backsides, because don't bullshit us. We're up to here already with the medical community. We don't need you doing it too. Number 5 way that you can support somebody with a chronic illness. Don't attend the pity party. I am not much for throwing parties. My idea of throwing a party is, what's the head count? I'll make a reservation. But when it comes to pity parties, oh my gosh, I can throw a hell of a pity party. Yeah, I feel sorry for myself sometimes. Everybody who has to deal with this feels sorry for ourselves sometimes. Don't join. Don't join the party. The thing that takes me back the most is when people say things to me like, I couldn't live your life. I would just shoot myself if I had to live with that. Well, okay. No, you probably wouldn't, because a lot of us don't. I would say, I think the majority of us don't. That's not supportive. How in the hell do you think that's going to make somebody feel when you tell them that? Don't say that to people. We want encouragement. We don't want your freaking pity. You can shove your pity up your ass. I'm so not interested. That's not the kind of person I am. But if I'm having a rough day, encouragement. Hey, you know what? Maybe today's bad, but you're really amazing. You do all these other cool things, because sometimes we need to be reminded of that. Now, the flip side of that, if you're the one that has the health issue and you can't break your pity party, what I do when I get into those moods, because I hate those freaking moods, I give myself, okay, this is where I'm at today. I give myself 24 hours. I can feel as sorry for myself as I want to, and I can boo hoo. And as my one girlfriend says, I can poor, pitiful pearl it all day. But the next day, I set it aside and I move on, because it doesn't get you anywhere. Number 6, if you have someone in your life who has a chronic illness, for goodness sakes, do not become an enforcer. Sometimes we indulge in bad habits that don't serve our purpose. We know we're going to pay a price for it the next day, but you know what? It's not your responsibility to be our conscience. It's not your role to be our conscience. We know. Okay? I guarantee you, we know what the aftermath of whatever we decide to do, we know what it's going to be. But you know what? Sometimes we just say, screw it. We want to just go out and be normal and do normal things and not worry about the aftermath. And you know what? We're entitled to do that. Again, be supportive, not judgmental. It, it's not your role to be our conscience. That's another one that really gets to me. I got to say, that one drives me nuts. Like, until you've lived this life, I'm sorry, but shut the hell up. I don't like to be mean, but shut the hell up. Well, you shouldn't eat that. You're going to feel terrible tomorrow. Thanks, mommy. I had a mom. She did a pretty good job. I don't need you interfering. Number 7. Just the things that need to be said, people, for God's sakes, pull your heads out of your butts. You need to accept us. We didn't ask for this shit. Nobody I know asked for this. Things have changed. We know. We can't do the things that we used to do. We know. We are a hell of a lot more aware of all that than you will ever be. You need to understand that chronic, it means just that. It's chronic. I'm not saying that I never have good days. I do. But just because I have a good day or two, that doesn't mean that it's gone. It just means I had a good day or two. And when I have good days, I never know what to say when it comes back, and that's really hard on us. I mean, for me, it's always I'd almost rather not. This sounds so crazy. I'd almost rather not have the good day, because then when it comes back, I have to go through a battle of acceptance all over again. But chronic means just that. This is it. This is where it is. And don't remind us of how things used to be. That life is gone. And we didn't ask for that life to be gone. It's just gone. There's a lot of grief involved in dealing with this crap. You don't need to add to it. For gosh sakes, we pile so much guilt on ourselves because of the things that we cannot do anymore, because of the things that we feel that we should be doing, because of the things that we want to do that we can't. We're already grieving. We're aware. We're so much more aware of it than you will ever be. And when you say that stuff, I mean, truly, what's the point? What is your objective when you say that kind of thing? Well, you used to be able to. Yeah, well, you know what? I used to be able to go and do flips off the monkey bars that I would never do in this at this point in my life. So what's your point? There's a lot of things that I used to be able to do that I can't do. Not all of it is because of my health issues. Granted, at this point, most of it is. But why in the hell do people need to remind us of that? Don't remind us. We know. Anyway, I could rant on this all night. I'm so glad my creeper guy didn't come back. I just remember, like, crap, I was going to look up how to block people and I forgot. So I'm glad he didn't come back. But I guess that means I've made it. I guess it means I'm finally making my splash on Haps. I have my first Creeper Friday. So there's that. Anyway, I hope you'll have a great evening. I will be back Wednesday at 5 o'clock Alaska time. If you have any questions, please drop me a line on Twitter at Alaskan Courtney. I try to be very responsive. And look, I'm not a shrink. I'm nothing fancy. I'm just a woman who has lived with this crap for a very long time. And I can help you. So drop me a line on Twitter. Hi, have a great night. I'm out of here. Y'all have a great one.